Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right, Eight of Swords. Don't freak out. It's a little bit of overthinking. It's okay, we all do it, right? We've got to recognize this. We've got to realize that sometimes we get in our own way. Sometimes I look at this card as a bit of self-sabotage, you know, that we tend to get into this loop of negative thinking. Yeah. You're usually a very positive thinker. You're very creative. I feel like you're very aware of the power of your own thoughts. Okay, don't forget to start the timer here. We're going to be here for all day. You're usually very aware of your own thoughts and the power that your thoughts have over reality. Okay, so I feel like right now we got to get out of this loop. We're in some kind of we're just in this cycle of thinking that we got to get out of. All right. And I don't know the situation yet. Maybe some more cards here will help us out. We'll get an idea. Well, now we've got the Knight of Cups. Okay, we could be overthinking about a relationship or about which direction our heart is trying to take us. Yeah, we've got the Hermit. We've got the Four of Wands, Emperor, Three of Wands, interesting. A Queen of Wands, the Death card. And the Death card is your power card. Okay, this is the card that represents the sign of Scorpio. This is your superpower. And it's now a Six of Swords and Four of Pentacles. Very good. I think the next couple of weeks are going to be very, very critical for you. Okay, we'll go ahead and say next 2 weeks. Right. Your heart is pushing you in a direction, and your mind is struggling to really figure it out and to either to accept it and be okay with it, or literally to like formulate the plan of how we're going to move forward. Okay, but with all this fire energy, I do see that things are getting charged up. Yeah, that you are finding your way. This is the Three of Wands in the future. You're finding your way forward, and maybe the idea here is you got to listen to the heart. Right? Maybe the mind is just kind of saying, hey, just, you know, we've got to tell our thoughts that, hey, just chill. Just calm down. You know, we got this. The heart's got this. Spirit's got this. You have that Emperor authority over everything, which I think is very important. And it's almost like we've got to overpower our own mind. Right? Spirit over mind, mind over matter. We've got to create that wonderful flow. Okay? In some ways, we want to take the Death card and see if we can stick it right in the middle, you know, if possible. But anyway, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it over here and put Mr. Ed, our little tiny horse, right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. All right. If you have a prediction for that card, put it down in the comments. Let's do it together as a group exercise. All right. Let's take a look around the room. We have a trinity of major arcana, which I think is a very good sign. We've got fire and fire and fire. We've got it's really just a little bit of water. There's not a lot of water at all, right? Of course, we have air, and we've got our little bit of earth. So it's fairly balanced, I would say. It's obviously a little bit heavy heavier on the fire and the air than on the water or earth. And so I think that there is just this, I think that your heart is surging towards something. Okay? With the Knight of Cups, it's all about a passionate expression of love. The giving and receiving of love and affection. It's kind of like your heart is really, like your heart is pulling you in a direction that maybe your mind isn't so sure about. Okay? The mind can't really see this working out. The mind's saying, you're going to get us in trouble again. You know? But I feel that it's something that's undeniable. I mean, what do? You can try to wrap up your heart, and that's what we're doing with the Eight of Swords. We're trying to wrap it up in all this doubt, all this thinking, and just sort of we're tying it up. And it's almost like we're not going to let our heart go after the object of its desire. Now, maybe this is a person, a relationship, maybe this is a new purpose, a new passion, a new activity, whatever it is. It could be romance, that the mind is kind of saying, nope, 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 nope. We're wrapping it up in change. We're trying to tie it down so the heart can't do this, because we feel like we're going to get in trouble again. And I think that the Four of Wands in the background is that you've just come off of this cycle. You've just come off of a very, I think, difficult karmic cycle. Some very, very heavy work, let's say. And the feeling that I'm getting is that this is a relationship that you finally have closure on, something that has ended, it's come to a conclusion. This is a cycle in your life that is completed now. And then the heart is like ready to go and get into another one, and the mind is saying, no, what are you doing? Not yet, not now. I don't want this, The heart wants what the heart wants, right? So there's a difficulty. The mind is not so willing to go along with things. The Hermit underneath everything is, of course, giving us this idea that we've intentionally sequestered ourselves from love, from that sort of romance and things like that. We're just saying, like, I'm just going to do me. I'm going to focus on my stuff. I'm going to just stay home and do my work. The Hermit is not so interested in following the heart and doing all of these even social stuff. Even we could be talking about friendships or things like that too. The Hermit doesn't want to get involved, doesn't want to get entangled in anything, right? So the mind is like trying to keep the reins on the heart, and it could be after this previous cycle. We said, I'm going to go hermit mode for a while. I'm going to make the executive decision that we're staying home, focusing on processing this past situation and what this meant and how it's kind of changing our life, how it's affecting our lives, and, not getting involved in anything new, not getting started with something or someone new. Okay. But maybe the Knight of Cups has heard from an old friend. Maybe the heart has met somebody. The heart has, I think, fallen in love with something and really now has an object of its desire, whether, again, it's a path, it's a person, maybe it's a new career choice, whatever it is. Okay. And I think that it's a powerful feeling. With the Eight of Swords, we're trying our very best to sort of bury our heart in a mountain of paperwork. We're trying to give it too much to sort of do so that it doesn't pull us in that direction. So I think you're keeping yourself busy. I think that you are trying to distract yourself in a way, right? To avoid this feeling. Because I feel like your heart is trying to reach out somewhere in the world, maybe to a person, maybe to a path. Try not to let it. Right. So I feel like this is sort of we're intentionally sabotaging ourselves. We're intentionally, tying ourselves up in chains. It's kind of like, when the werewolf, will sort of chain itself to the house. So when the full moon comes out, it doesn't go out and wreak havoc and cause mayhem. Sort of chaining ourselves to our house so our heart can't lead us into trouble. Yeah. But, with the Knight of Cups, it's something that you want, something that feels good. It's somebody that, maybe makes a lot of sense for you. Maybe it feels like this is someone that really, really gets you, really understands you. But I almost wonder with that Emperor at the top, if you've decided ahead of time that you're not going to get involved with anybody. Doesn't matter what you feel, you've already made that decision that you're not going to do it because we're still coming off of this one and we don't need another one. Okay? Maybe there are still issues here that need to be resolved for you. Things that you do need to sort of search yourself and understand and recapitulate and process and do that sort of debriefing. Do that retrospection or circumspection about this before you are ready to go into another one. And maybe that's part of what the Emperor knows, and the mind is trying very hard to stop the heart from going forward because it's an acknowledgement perhaps that you really aren't quite ready. Right? That you have to get to the bottom of what this past thing was because maybe there are some issues in relationships in that way for you. And I can't help but think that this is a movement toward love or romance, but we don't see any other cups, The only water energy we see is that Knight, and it's kind of like that's the impulse, that's the urge to go and love something, right? And everything else here is saying, no, not yet. Give it 2 weeks, okay? When in doubt, wait a while. See if you still feel that way in a week or two, okay? I think those next 2 weeks are going to be very critical for you because I think you're going to be able to fully process what the past relationship was. And you're going to be able to better understand why you feel so compelled or so impassioned toward this forward movement of the heart. And your Emperor, your internal Emperor, your higher sort of authority, your sovereignty and your agency can make the decision what you want to do. What's going to be the best thing for you to do. And that's the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is going to be the best thing for you to do. But don't make a decision. Wait 2 weeks. Okay? Wait 2 weeks and see if you still want it. See what your conclusion is at the end. Because the Three of Wands is you doing the right thing. The right thing might not always be the easiest thing or the thing that feels good. Just because it feels good doesn't mean it is good. And conversely too, just because it feels bad and the heart has to suffer, maybe it's the best thing for you overall, right? So the tarot's not telling you what to do. I'm sure as heck not going to tell you what to do. But keep your heart in check for a couple weeks, right? Few days, 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever, right? For a period of time, let's say. So that you don't impulsively get attached to something else and end up in a worse situation than what you just sort of shut the door on back here. Okay. The Emperor has made the executive decision for you to be alone for a time being, to focus on yourself, so that you can understand who you are and what you want and what role you have in the environment. Maybe this is the idea of you want to switch jobs and your heart is like you've fallen in love, or you want to move to Florida, you've fallen in love with Daytona Beach. I just can't wait. I'm going to do it. And the mind is saying, no, we're not. Let's think of all the problems, all the paperwork, all the stuff we got to plan for. Let's just wait. And that's the executive decision that says, okay, you have this impulse to go do this thing. Maybe it is switching careers, moving to Florida or South America. I don't know. You're going to wait to find out what it is that you really want. Who are you? right? We've got this death card. And the death card, of course, your power card in the position of the environment. Who are you supposed to be in the greater context of your environment, in the context of the world? Right? Where is the right place for you? This is the card of the environment. It's also the card of relationships. So it's kind of saying, the best version of yourself is what we want to become. And that's your power card, right? Is this going to be better served in Florida or South America in this relationship? Or is that not the right one? So we have to be able to discern that. If I go to Florida, is that going to be the right environment for me to become my very best self? If I get into this relationship, is that the right person for me? Is that person going to be is that relationship going to be conducive to me and my spiritual goals? Right? Or this job, if I take that job, is that going to be in line with my core values? Right? Three of Wands. It's all about doing what is going to lead to your very best self, what is going to further your spiritual and self-development and your evolution. The Three of Wands is you doing the right thing for that purpose, for that evolution. Not just, I'm going to do what the heart wants, or I'm going to do what the mind wants, No, we're going to do what is best for the development of the self. And we're going to make those choices. And those are the values, right? That is your moral compass. That's how you decide whether your will is right or whether your decisions are being led by something else, the heart or the mind. Okay? So the idea here is that we are stopping any sort of movement, giving it a couple weeks, and trying to get to a bit of some clarity over what is going to be the right environment for you. What is the right relationship or situation where you can continue growing in your spiritual evolution. Okay? Give it a couple weeks is the idea there. Yeah. Don't rush into anything right now. Spirit is saying wait. Okay. Because maybe we'll see in a couple weeks that this heart feeling is not going to really be so strong. It's maybe in a week or two be like, I'm not really feeling Florida anymore. I'm not really feeling South America. Maybe I want to go north. I want to go where it's cold. Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking Norway or something, Iceland. So, that sort of heart energy, that Knight of Cups, can be fickle. Okay? It can want something one day, the next day want something else. Give it time. If after 2 weeks you still feel like, yes, this is it, it's Florida or bust, maybe there's something to it. Maybe there is something that's really, really deep in you that is yearning for that. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's real, right? And if this is a relationship with a person, give it a couple weeks. If you still feel the same way, maybe it's real, right? Now we're going to go to the path of the serpent now, and as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, it doesn't cost anything, and it supports the channel, and I appreciate that. What we've got over here in your general energy is the Queen of Wands. And, well, it's interesting because the Knight of Cups is fire on the inside, water outside. Okay, it's a Knight of Cups. The Queen of Wands is water on the inside, fire on the outside, right? It's a Queen of Wands. So they're sort of inside out. It's kind of saying whatever your heart is trying to get you to do right now, do the opposite. It's kind of a George Costanza thing going on here, if you're a Seinfeld fan. I love Jason Alexander. I heard he's a fan of the show too, by the way. I'm not sure if he's a Scorpio. I feel like he might be, maybe. But this is kind of that opposite energy. These two cards are inside out. This is the heart's on the outside and the fire, the burning passion is within, and we're going in that direction. This one is kind of the other way around. It's kind of like I'm keeping that water energy in check, and I'm outside, I'm being very fiery, right? Very kind of in control, very aware, very vigilant. You know, it's kind of like the Queen of Wands is the delegate of the Emperor, right? They're both of this fiery nature. The cards really do look very similar. And it's kind of saying, I'm staying in my stubborn, strong, I'm resisting that heart energy. I'm keeping it inside. I'm going to incubate it for a while. I'm going to keep that heart inside of me like an egg. And in a couple weeks, see what it becomes. See what it grows into. If it's still there, if it's stronger, then okay. I mean, maybe it's something. Maybe there's something here. It's it's the way we will sign up for a class, right? When they take these jiu-jitsu classes, and they say, you can try 1 week for free. See if you like it. Okay. Rather than committing to the whole month or committing to the whole year, I'll just do 1 or 2 classes, see if I like it. And if I do, well, then I'll sign up on a more regular basis. I'll pay the money for the month or the year or whatever, and I'll be good to go. But if I don't like it, I can easily, there's no commitment, right? And this is what Spirit's telling you right now, whether this is romance or career or family or friends or a vacation, or you're moving to Florida or Spain or Norway or South America. There's an H person in your life. Who's the H person? Or I'm seeing a big H. I don't know what that is. I feel like it's someone's initials, but it could be, I almost feel like it's on a sign, like it's a building or something. Yeah? It's got the big H symbol on it. So this is you kind of being stubborn for the time being and forcing yourself, using your willpower to not let your heart do what it wants to do right now. If you still want to in a couple weeks, then maybe figure it out. But for now, resist, right? Resist is the energy. Because, again, with the death energy in the position of the environment, you have to realize that the death card is a slow and steady, gradual sort of energy, whereas the Knight of Cups is very quick. It has this feeling now, but in 5 seconds, it might not feel the same way. So if something has staying power, if something has longevity, if something is going to be rather consistent and a steady force, you'll know it, right? And that's kind of something that's more meaningful to you. I don't think you're into these, fickle, quick changing things. You want something that is going to be steady, right? Because you're on a steady path of growth, of spiritual evolution, or even, your sort of career trajectory, right? Or if maybe this is at school or whatever we're talking about here. You're sort of in it for the long haul in life. You want things that are lasting, relatively lasting, and things that are permanent, relatively permanent, right? You're thinking long term here. Okay. And like I said, you're also looking for the right environment. Where are you going to put your soul, right? Where is your attention going to be in the environment? Where are we looking to, we want to be surrounded by the best possible energy so that you can continue your work, your path, your growth, your spiritual evolution. Yeah. There's also an image of an elephant. I don't know. It's an elephant with a trunk upraised. I think it's supposed to be a symbol of luck. I don't know if that's a dream image, spirit animal, or if it's some sort of figurine that you have on the mantle. I'm getting kind of a jade green color, elephant trunk raised, yeah. Anyway, the 6 of swords that we have next is sort of the obstacle here, because it is clarity, it is calm, it is the beautiful mind that understands the plan, that sees everything accurately. The 8 over here, we don't know which end is up. We don't know what's going on. Our heart has our head spinning, right? What we're really waiting for, I guess, is the clarity of mind. And in a couple weeks, you'll be able to see things more clear, because maybe that initial rush of the infatuation or the love or the desire, right, will sort of will stabilize. And you'll be able to see things for what they are. You'll be able to have some clear thoughts and very centered and focused thoughts, and you'll see which plan is going to be proper for you. Okay? It's kind of like you're ready to sign up. You're ready to sign on the dotted line. Maybe you're buying a house. Maybe you're buying a car or something. You're ready to, I'm in love, I'm going to sign right now. No. No, 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 no. Give it a couple weeks, right? You might see something else on your way home later that you're going to fall in love with even more, right? But if you still want it after a couple weeks, go back and buy it. Go back and get the house, the car, the TV, the PlayStation, whatever it is. The painting, the book, you know. Trust me, that'll save you a lot of time, effort, energy, money. It will be better for you to wait, so that you don't get entangled, enmeshed, or committed to something that, isn't going to be the right thing for you, and then we have to spend a lot of money or time or effort or energy to untangle ourselves from it. Okay? And what we're waiting for is the clarity. You'll understand. You'll see. You'll get a clear picture of how this thing is supposed to fit into your life, or not at all. Maybe it's only meant to be here temporarily. Maybe it's just meant to enjoy for a day or two and then, do it. Maybe instead of moving to Florida, you're just going to watch some YouTube videos about it. Maybe there's a place local to you that'll give you the same kind of vibe for a day, rather than you making that huge commitment to actually move there, Maybe it's saying, go spend a couple days in Florida, see if you actually like it, before committing to, to moving yourself there. And if this is a relationship too, we say wait 2 weeks to see how you feel. Well, maybe in 2 weeks you'll still feel the same way. Maybe this is the idea of giving something a trial period. Maybe you're going to go meet somebody that you've never met before. Yeah, do that, but do it in a way where there's no obligation, there's no commitment, there's no real entanglement. It's kind of like, you go out on a date with somebody, you meet in a public place, you pay for, everybody pays for their own stuff, and there's, it's just a chance to feel things out a little bit. But there's no expectations, there's no obligations, there's no commitments. There's, it's smart to do that way. What we see at the end, of course, is the Four of Pentacles, and that is safety, security, stability. I think that this is a solid, kind of a solid foundation for you to work with. And I think that if this is something that is from the heart, this is something that you absolutely want, no question about it, then after the 2 weeks and you do kind of move forward with this thing, whatever it might be, I think you've already got yourself off to a very good start. You've already made a lot of good choices to help establish a very solid foundation. Rushing into something, a commitment, a relationship, a big move somewhere overseas or to the other side of the country or whatever, or to this new job, to do so impulsively kind of sets some shaky ground. That things don't have a solid start to them. But something that's built up slowly, that's kind of, we've been taking our time. I'm expecting an 8 of Pentacles for the mystery card. It feels like that's going to be something that's going to be more solid, because things were done slowly. The foundation was built on bedrock, right? And so with the 3 of Wands in the future position too, you got to make sure that this is a company, a city or a town or a destination. Mm-hmm. My iPhone thinks I'm talking to it. Siri answered me. I don't want to wake her up. The 3 of Wands is making sure that this other thing, person, or the destination or the company that you're considering working for has the same core values as you, right? So that we know that we're building a relationship that is solid. It's built on core values. It's built on the same principles, that we share that, we have that in common, and that's a really good, stable ground to start building a life on. Okay? Now I want to look at the mystery card. I'm thinking 8 of Pentacles because I think prudence is what is being advised. But you never know. That's my prediction, but we'll see. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Queen of Cups. It's more of that feeling, right? But it's kind of a slower moving. Now, the rush of things has left. The rush, the big, the first, the love at first sight, the whirlwind, the infatuation, the all that fiery energy of passion has subsided. And what we're left with is a Queen of Cups. And I think this is you really asking the question that, all of this excitement aside, the rush of something new and all this initial energy, when all that's over and done with, what's left? Is there still something there? Is this just the excitement of, a house, I'm going to buy it? Or is there really a love there? Is there something deeper that's connecting you with this energy or this person or this house or with Florida? Yeah, I think we've been talking about Florida with one of your last readings too. Maybe that was a different sign. I'm not sure. But this is really you sitting with the feeling and seeing if it is real. And not just something that's fickle or flashing by, Right? Queen of Cups. Making sure this is something that you really, really, really do want before you do make any kind of moves or make any kind of commitments or any kind of entanglements. Sit with it for a while. A couple weeks is the energy I'm getting. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around for that, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Scorpio Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.